This is my newest update for Dark Hours. I'm going to take you guys through a little bit of a walkthrough, go over some different things that I've been learning, running with different groups, my clan, just a lot of really good people. So we're at the top. It's already cleared. I just wanted to kind of cover just some tips and stuff to kind of get through it quicker. Alright, so in a normal raid, you got 8 people. As you can see, the map is pretty much identical. One side red, second side blue. So what you can do to make this go a little bit quicker is you take 2 people, you have them kind of focus on the ads that come over here, the ads that leak from there that come to the middle, and then you do the same thing on the opposite side. They take the boomer here, 2 people, any of the ads that got loose from over this way, and then these guys in the back here fall back to take the chopper back here. Now the other people, alright, the other 4, 2 people will be running skill builds, oxidizer, stinger hive, and if you're on the left side, the red side, this door is pretty much where you're shooting stuff. That's right, your hive. And you can even help oxidize things back here, and even over here sometimes if you can see them. And the same thing goes for the blue side. Oxidizer guy is shooting clouds up here. Stinger, stinger probably up there, just to help kill the little drones, any of the ads, and then the dogs when they come out. Now if it's done quick enough, you can get through this pretty fast, a couple minutes or less. And part of it has to do with running a build kind of like this. I didn't have the exact pieces, so this is something you can use. One of the key things is the tech support. Now I'm just using this piece because it's the only one I have that really has that bit on there, but you could use 3 Empress and Wyvern, a couple Hana U's, Waveform. There's different ways to build it, but what's important is this right here. Fox's Prayers with a skill tier, skill damage targets that are covered does benefit that oxidizer. Just adding this in case you do have to shoot stuff. I'm using the Tactician just for more skill damage, but you can use it with different specializations. This is just my take on it because, like I said, I didn't have the right pieces. But this oxidizer is the thing that makes it work. Stinger hive. You can use whatever you feel comfortable with weapons. Just using certain things that kind of add to the skill damage. EMP for the dogs maybe. And that's just a little tidbit of information. Now guys that are working the boomers and stuff,
inventory,
they could do it with an all red build. Could use a Ravenous, and then if you know how to Rav stack, 5 on the left, the blue side, 1 on the right, red side, rinse and repeat till you kill the boomer. Really quick way to bring them down. Then you get people moving. And let me go pick this up. And we'll move on to boomer and talk about some other stuff. Kind of make it go a little quicker. So yeah, in a cleared read, I have to open doors and just kind of get through places. Okay, so next build, next spot. Negotiator's Dilemma. Now, running negotiators can be fun, can be a little tricky. If you know how to do it and you're good at it, man, it can be a very good tool. But I would recommend using the Diamondback and the Grudge SMG. It's got 4 mod slots. You can pretty much get
inventory.
Let's see if I can show you this. You can pretty much get crit capped. Sorry about that. Just by putting this thing on. So when you mod it, you could put a little bit more damage on it, you know, or you could switch one of those damage, put crit chance just to get just to get to 60. And one of the reasons you want the vindictive is because you're just going to be using riot foam and shock trap. And what I do on these, stack as much crit damage as you can, and you definitely want the backpack because it does 100% damage transfer from the adds to boomer. And I'm using glass cannon and a coyote's mask. So this corner is a really good example. Got a lot of room to use it. What'll happen is, you know, they're gonna come in, take the nodes down. Once they start shooting, ad will come out. You can literally just riot foam them there. Switch to your grudge when the nodes go down. You know, shoot them in the head. You can drop your shock trap around here. Then you're gonna run up here to where Boomer is, right? When he comes out, wait till they pop his chest, you know, so they get the aggro, then shoot him in the feet until you see your negotiator's mark. And you come back, and as you say, your chem launcher kind of recharges. Ads will become out of door 44. Pay attention where they go. Foam them. Kill them with your grudge. You proc that buff for your partner over here. By that time, Boomer's usually down. You can hit him with your Diamondback. And you just go back to killing ads, and I would switch back to the grudge. It's a really easy way to do negotiators this corner. You do it right, the ads never touch you. You know, there's a lot of things you can use for cover. And more than likely being on this side, you might have to hop in for like computer delta sometimes. If it's 3 computers, or you know, if it's 4. With a good team, you could do damage to him twice here. With the negotiators kicking in, by the time he gets around here, you might be ready to kill him here, because they could double him there, and that should be all she wrote. So,
Inventory.
specialization, you know, you can do sharpshooter, you could do, I mean, there's a lot of ones you can do. We could even do, you know, maybe survivalist might work good since you're using status effects. But I like this one. Flashbang can kind of help you if you get in trouble. And I just keep the card just for that skill too. But you could use whatever you really want. Alright, now,
Inventory.
since we're here at Boomer, there's another build. Right, for kiting Boomer. So, pretty much I don't want to say standard DPS, but it's all red, right? Group O with opportunistic. Fox's prayers, right? Now I'm using a point man, but it's red, and I'm using the status effects for the Scorpio. You're proccing your shield, just gives you more damage. Use a reviver, use a defender drone, heal chem, whatever. You can use a heal hive if you want. You know, this is for popping his chest when you have to kite him, and this is for double down on him. And this just kind of helps you keep your team alive. And then you got extra damage for shooting him with the Scorpio anyway. You know, pretty solid build, easy to kite with. Next way we're going to the triplets. And then I got a couple of things to talk about on Buddy and Lucy. It just sucks to have to run everywhere, so please bear with me. Okay, so
Inventory.
at the triplets, another person could use and build like this. Something with Vanguard's going to be important for this next part to kind of work. You only need one person to do this. Now the other people, it would help if you get a mix of, let me see if I have it, someone with a red future build. You know, the second attribute can be a mix of crit damage, crit chance, but you definitely want the chess piece. I just like putting Fox's prayers on like all DPS builds, and I found this as a decent, you know, backpack. Just a setup. Doesn't have to be this way. This is just my take on that red future build. But the main one I want to show you, where is it? Right here. Alright, so take a look at what we got here. Intimidate. Yeah, it got nerfed, but it still does pretty good work when you use it right. So the way this works, you guys get set up. You put your strongest people. Strongest people go to Bravo, whoever they might be. You know, the people that really know what they're doing, they got solid builds, a lot of experience. You put them there. If everybody has this kind of setup here, right? You got vigilance, contractors, foxes. You know, then you're just using Providence holster, Providence with intimidate, Coyote's mask. You got your Scorpio. Now this gun right here is another big part of it. I thought I had one that had, let me see if I got the right one in here. It's this one. It's a 612 shotgun with InSync. One of the reasons is real fast load time, reload time. See that 1.6? And it's not even fully modded. What did I do? Okay. So the way this works, use a turret. Okay. Now, see the light there? You can throw the turret on top of the light, and you can do the same thing on this side. That way, when those guys are down on the ground stomping, they won't instantly destroy it. Now, whatever side you're on, I'll just go over here because I'm going to have to leave anyway. The key is the person that has Vanguard is going to proc it. And as soon as he does that, pushing the buttons, they're pretty much going to kill him before this guy dies, because they get the orange gas, we have the purple. But the key is you get real close to them, like in this area. Right, so you can keep your turret somewhere out here, and then pretty much from like, you know, these 3 squares in is where you want your team, or you could even have somebody over here. It doesn't hurt to have somebody here shooting them with a Scorpio just to get that damage buff on them. And then you switch to your 612 and you just get as close as you can. You know, there's a little bit of range, like if he was about right there and you're kind of about this far, when he stomps he won't blind you. And you can get into him, just light him up. You rinse and repeat because your Vanguard will be on for a while. And then your intimidate is, you know, building up. And then after he's dead, you know, second round of Vanguard comes up. You gotta have it on for Weasel. Everybody running this build makes real short work of both those heads. But if you don't have this build on your team, just doing the normal 4 and 4 would work well. But this makes it quick. This makes it easy. And it's actually a lot of fun when you see how fast this stuff goes. The other part of this part though is making sure you get the gas switch right. You know, they got to make sure that they switch the gas. That guy dies, and everybody comes over here, lights this guy up. Then on the boss, clean up the ads. Then we're moving to Buddy Lucy. Now, if you're just kind of like normal, casual running, same setup will work for Buddy and Lucy. But if you're not, we can talk about something a little bit different. Kind of touchy, but if it's pulled off, the dogs go down in an instant. So just give me a second to run my ass over there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now there's other things that people could be doing here while you're running too. Usually somebody puts on a jammer pulse, kills the drones, just kind of flies through here. You clean up the ads. And then at the luggage here, luggage area, whatever you want to call this, you can split people up too. This is sort of like a mini tarmac area, right? You'll have ads coming down the stairs, like a boomer on one side, boomer on another, like some reds and purples, mix of shotgunners and stuff. You know, the quicker they die, then then this door opens. 2 dogs and a boomer come out. Oxidizers can work well here. Just make sure you're not, you know, shooting yourself. Special ammo works good with crossbows, shit like that. Grenades can really do some work on the dogs in there. You know, then there's another set of 2 ads. I think a shotgunner comes down the rope, you know, and you're just kind of making sure you didn't miss anything, and then you just be moving on to Buddy and Lucy. But just little things like that, like splitting your team up, making sure everyone has like an area to cover and a job to do, and that can make it go a lot faster. But that's for teams that, you know what they're doing, experienced people, even first timers and stuff. If you just tell them where to go, they can figure it out. Like, go here, shoot these guys, you know? Okay, now we're at Buddy and Lucy. So that same thing I showed you
Inventory.
with the same build, right? And you need somebody proc and Vanguard can work. You would put, you know, whatever subgroup you want, 1 or 2 here, and then vice versa on the other side. Someone pushes the button, you stay in cover for the 2.5 spins, and then instead of hitting the computer, everybody just kind of slowly marches the dogs down into the middle and just unloads hell on them, you know? Like, you can, one person, you know, you can stack your Scorpio, switch to your 612, and you guys are just going, and it's a race to see who kills them first. It works, it's effective, pretty quick. Now, there's another way to do this, alright? Kind of speedrun tactics here, alright? Everybody would be like sort of around this table, right? You would put one guy here, you would put another guy here. Now those 2 guys have special jobs. One of them is a like red future, or could be a yellow future. They're going to overcharge. It helps if they both have opportunistic. Could be a combination of that and Overwatch. Like, you're trying to get a lot of different buffs to give your team here. Now you could put 2 people kind of here and another person here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use things like the Achilles pulse, scanner pulse. Alright, the guy here, his job, he is going to just mark Buddy. You know, if he puts opportunistic on him, alright, he's going to stack that Scorpio on him. When the overcharge hits, he's going to Achilles. Somebody else is going to scanner pulse. And then these 2 guys, they're picking specific targets. So you have to make sure they know, like, it's either the head, the right leg. You know, one person can hit the left leg. Somebody could even, like the guy that's farthest here, he could even come around and shoot Buddy in the side. It doesn't matter what box you pick as long as 2 people don't shoot the same box, because what you're going to do is you're going to split a shit ton of damage over 3 people. One of the times when I pulled this off,
Inventory.
I'll show you the kind of build I crit for 96 million, and that wasn't having like all the different buffs you could, you know, really have. But it's a build like this that uses Regulus, right? So you're specking a lot of headshot damage with some crit chance, okay? Punch drunk. It's a staple for here. Sacrifice, glass cannon, because if you do this right, the dogs don't even touch you. You just have to stay in cover when they're, well, actually you don't even have to stay in cover for this. You kill them when they're coming out. But I'm gonna go over the build a little bit more. Gunslinger is important. You make sure you don't have your pistol out so it's fully charged. Fox's Prayers, and then we're using 2 pieces of Oraldi just to get some more headshot damage. Now, I would have liked it if I could have put, crit chance on this. I changed this to crit chance. I added crit chance here. Could have put crit chance on that instead of crit damage. So your stats kind of shooting to hit this closer to 30, but like when you switch to your Regulus, you can see it's doing 260. Right. So if you're the person over here, there could be 2 guys in the middle, or they could kind of stand somewhere here. Now the dogs do some weird stuff, but he's gonna be here. He's gonna walk out, he's getting Scorpioed, he's getting Achilles, he's getting scanners. Sometimes what he likes to do is he'll go this way, and then he'll turn around, and then he'll sit right here. So if you're the guy shooting his left leg, you gotta pay attention to where he's going, you gotta get in position, you gotta line your shot up, and boom. If you hit it right, and you crit, boom, it's game over, man. And it's a good feeling when you like put the dogs down in just like a second. They're pretty much doing the same thing on Lucy. Like I said, this guy is over here marking her with the Scorpio, opportunistic if he's got it. Once that overcharge hits, like someone's Achilles pulsing them. You got 2 guys over here, they're picking their spots. And then the guy that's kind of out here, he's shooting that left leg of hers. And that's all she wrote. It's a pretty simple setup. It's just very build dependent, getting the buffs and critting. If you don't crit, sometimes you will almost kill him. You might take all his armor off and just finish him off with just health damage. But more than likely, Lucy will almost always die. Buddy is the one that's tricky because he's a little bit stronger dog. Okay.
Inventory.
So here's the build again. Punch drunk. Sacrifice, headshot damage, 2 pieces of Araldi. Fox's Prayers, Gunslinger. Your skills only matter if you're the person that's Achilles pulsing. You want Overwatch on a red build or something. Opportunistic for the, you could probably run it like this, like a yellow healer, so they can overcharge the hive. Right, and they're probably not going to want to throw out they could throw the healing one, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, those are just some ideas. Like I said, if it works, it goes down real quick. And then we'll go to Razorback and just kind of talk a little bit more about that, just to see how you could do it quicker.
Inventory.
But I'm going to put on sort of it's like a one-shot build, Overwatch or plate. Could work for either one. So at Razorback, you would have established in the beginning who's going to be on what plate, what specialization they're running, because you don't want to be switching around too much and have to waste time wiping for ammo. So if you got all the plates covered, people know where they're going. Usually the jammer crossbow's on 1, you got a demo on plate 4, 2 and 3. In my mind, they can be interchangeable as long as you know you have a crossbow at one of them and a grenade at the other. The Overwatches do their thing, and then they're going to be doing fast plates, because you're trying to get through it quicker. And with fast plates, there's actually less ads that spawn. So by the time you drop down, you're killing these 4 ads, and then if you're in the back, you're already moving there, right? But don't let anything get behind you when you go there. So when you're shooting shit, kill them. Don't just leave an ad up and have it kill one of your teammates, because a lot of people are going to be running glass cannon. So when they get on, they're already doing work. Now, if you got good plate people, they will help you out. Blinders are awesome here because it stops them in their tracks, especially for like having to cover so much ground here, like especially in 3. The other ones aren't too bad. 2's pretty like tight over there. 1's not too bad, and 4 a lot more open than 3 is. 3's got all this crap in the way, so it's hard to get line of sight on those assholes that come out the door. But your plate guy can blind them, you know, you can get them. What I like to do is I like to use a Ravenous. Stack 5 red, and then you switch and proc it. It'll almost kill them every time. So it can make quick work of them. You get your ads done quick. You can get back into position to either help, you know, prep the weak points, or, you know, if you're in the front, it's the same thing. You're gonna be doing damage. Now, Revy stack, right, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you switch to 1, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch to 1. Pop that gunslinger, you know, you're aiming, and then boom. And that should be all she wrote for that weak point. If you don't get it, you can just keep stacking your ass, 5, 1, 5, 1. Alright, and then if you have to, you know, if you get caught with some ads and stuff, you can one-shot them with your gunslinger, and you could definitely one-shot boomer right in the butt. You're throwing blinders to help control the ads. That's pretty much what you're doing on Overwatch. Now, there's a trick here for Razorback, okay? A lot of teams, they do damage different ways, but I think a good way, and something I've learned, is that you start out in the front. If you get a solid team, you can break both weak points, and you can do enough damage, right? So the guys in the back, they're working on prepping it. So one of the weak points would have been broke. The second one with just a little bit of health left, right? So they go front, back, right? We damage that, and then they're going to be, you know, then while we're in the back, they're prepping the front. Then they would be doing front again. So that would be the third lift, right? So there was 1, there was 2, and then on the third, the guys in the back, they're going to break both the weak points. And then one of your plate guys has hopefully got another one-shot build. They're gonna, you know, they're gonna let those guys in the front do a little bit of damage, and then they're gonna close the back early by shooting it with a one-shot Revy or a Regulus or D50 or whatever. And when it's gonna force it to close, and then you can get through the cycles a little bit quicker instead of having to wait for it. Because sometimes, you know, if you break the weak points really quick, there's a delayed mortar. So instead of waiting for that delayed mortar, you can force Razorback to do what you want it to do, close, shoot off the mortars, and, you know, get back on the plates again. And then you would finish it off in the back, right? But in the back, the weak points are gonna, you know, regenerate, so you have to break both of them again, which shouldn't be a problem if you've been doing it so far. And then you just, you know, you kill it, go home, you shoot the, you know, the missile turrets, and bam, game over. Now, those are just some ideas and tips and tricks that if you know, want to get guys together to put those builds together, it will make this raid a lot quicker, possibly even more enjoyable, and kind of renew, you know, like your raiding. And because I mean, let's face it, Dark Hours, it's first raid. It's been out forever. People have mastered this, have found all kinds of different things, all kinds of different stuff. So trying something new, trying to get through it quicker, you know, not so much speed running, but some parts of it kind of is, you know, like you don't need an SSD to do these things, you know, you don't have to, I mean, if you know how to fast travel certain times, you can do that, but none of that stuff is necessary. And I've seen it where they were just doing it, going through it, everything was smooth, about 14 minutes. Now I was kind of helping with this, and I could show you guys, before they really got it down packed, my clan. Let me see what mine is. Jump to me. They were just kind of messing around in like 16 minutes, 16 and a half minutes. That's not too bad. Alright. Let's take a look at this. Right there. That is the leader of my clan, Mr. Soap Disco. The most clears in Dark Hours, and that was the fastest time they could get so far. But they're kind of putting in that that one shot with the dogs to get it under 14. So it could be closer to these guys. And these guys are some of the speed runners that taught me some of that other stuff. But, you know, if you're not worried about this stuff, those things will work too. You just do it at a slower pace.
Inventory.
So, I hope you guys found it useful. You know, I'm just trying to help people out, and you know, wish you guys the best. Take care.